very beautiful morning to you once again. It's exactly 33 minutes past 6 a.m. from the studio of Wales Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. And it's, of course, another time for us to discuss issues that concerns us as Nigerians. Good morning. Welcome to Perspectives Unlimited. Perspectives Unlimited is that platform where we go beyond the news to help you make sense of some of the stories across our various national dailies, and a bit to keep you abreast about happenings, of course, around Nigeria. Because as I would always say, the conversation that concerns the growth of Nigeria is the business of you and I. So welcome this morning. Again, my name is Toluwaleke Alli. We're currently live on Facebook. So you can watch us live on Facebook at Wales Radio 893 FM fan page. At Wales Radio 893 FM fan page. And we're also live on YouTube at Wales Radio 89.3 FM. At Wales Radio 89.3 FM. You can also watch us live on YouTube and share with people around you. All right, first off, we'll take a look at the front pages across some of our national dailies this morning. And of course, after that, together with the analyst in the studio, we will be taking a look at some of the key stories in the national dailies. So let's check out the front pages across some of our national dailies this morning. On the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning, above the masthead 2027, ADC faction eyes Jonathan Saraki Makinde alliance, and that's on page 7. Counter-insurgency, U.S. delivers military supply to Nigeria. That's also on page 11 of the Punch newspaper. Nigeria UAE scrap tariffs on over 13,000 goods, and that's on page 19. Victims identify alleged our church attackers in court, and that's on page 7 as well of the Punch newspaper. Federal roads spending soars 489% to 3.23 trillion naira. And that's on page 29. The lead story on the front page of the Punch newspaper reads, Governors budget 525 billion naira for security as killings spread. And it has a rider, security votes jump 40% since 2023. Borno, Anambra, Delta record highest budgets. Northeast, Southeast lead. And that's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper for this morning. On the front page of the Guardian newspaper for this morning, Lagos gets 179 billion naira. Oil States 424 billion naira from FACT's 6 trillion naira disbursement. And that's on page 3. Shetima, Abba, others canvass ethical leadership at colloquium. And that's also on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. NAD rejects federal government NMA job evaluation agreement before collective bargaining. And that's on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. The lead story reads, lingering sit-at-home disruption may hurt Southeast's 5.7 trillion naira fiscal plan. And that's on page 6. Nigeria UAE signed trade deal, liberalize over 7,000 products. That's on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. Nigeria ranks higher, moves up from 103 to 89 in passport index. And that's on page 2. Obi Kaigama raised concerns over new tax laws as officials defend reforms. And that's on page 6. 2027, INEC laments waning public confidence in elections. And that's on page 28 of the Guardian newspaper. And the final story, Edo government links Nigerians in diaspora to a woman riot. And to read more on that story, check out page 7 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. On the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper for this morning, above the masthead, Owo Church massacre, DSS lists 10 witnesses, and it has a rider tenders more documentary evidences, and that's on page 3. AFCON semis, I fear Osime, Iwobi, Lukman, that's coming from the Morocco coach, and it has a rider. NFF chairman allays fears over officiating, and that's on page 31. The lead story reads, U.S. delivers the military supplies to Nigeria, and it has a rider, 129 terrorists arrested, 55 killed, 309 hostages rescued in Kwara, Kogi. That's according to the police, and the story can be found on pages 2 and 8 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Olabisi Onobanjo's wife, Lucia, dies at 100 years, and it has a rider, Tinubu Abiodun pay tributes, and that's on page 4. After protests, Shippers Council orders shipping companies to suspend fee hike, and that's on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Ekiti Poll, court nullifies PDP governorship primary, orders fresh exercise. And that can be found on page 13 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Federal government begins implementation ahead of agreement signing with ASU, and that's on page 30. Still on page 30 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, NIWA to acquire barges, vessels with 10.3 billion naira in 2026. And it has a couple of riders to dredge 100-kilometer waterways with 1.8 billion naira. Concerns as NAQS allocates 385 million naira to social project amid Nigeria's food export challenges. And those are the stories across the front pages of some of our national dailies this morning. Joining me on the conversation this morning is our analyst, Chukwemeka Munachi. So good morning, Chukwemeka.
Good morning, Tolu.
All right, good to have you here this morning. Let's begin with the lead story on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, which we just checked out the front page. U.S. delivers critical military supplies to Nigeria. The United States has delivered critical military supplies to Nigeria as part of efforts to strengthen the country's fight against terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping. The delivery was confirmed in a post on X on Tuesday by the U.S. Africa Command, AFRICOM, which announced that American forces supplied key military materials to Nigerian security partners in Abuja to support ongoing operations and reinforce bilateral security cooperation. And this development comes amid renewed diplomatic engagements between Washington and Abuja over security challenges, particularly the activities of jihadist groups operating in parts of Nigeria. As part of the efforts of the U.S. government to help Nigeria to curb insecurity, now certain critical military supplies has been delivered to Nigeria. How are we sure that these critical military supplies would be utilized properly at this point?
First of all, we have to be grateful to God for using America to come to assist us. It's a very good one that America has brought something in for us to defend ourselves. It is less for us to use it or sabotage ourselves. You understand? And those who are asking that Nigeria is a sovereign nation, we don't need America, they should hide themselves in shame, because as a sovereign nation, we couldn't defend ourselves. Non-state actors are running amok, running wild in our country, making citizens to pay for survival. And yet we are a sovereign nation, and America has made good its promise to come and help us. It's a very good one. My own submission this morning is that security operatives should use these things judiciously for what they were meant for. And also, these things we must not hear stories that it ended up in the hand of non-state actors.
I was actually going to also mention, because we've had cases where even the supplies that we imported as a country ended up in the hands of non-state actors.
Yes, because we are not fully interested in tackling insecurity. We are not. You understand? Don't forget that National Security Advisor Ruhun Ibadu said it openly that some of the things, arms and ammunition, ended up, and nobody was prosecuted, nobody was brought to book. And Tolu, let me tell you something. Where there is no prison, there is no trial, no consequences, people will not give up on their nefarious activities and their sabotage against this country. Because there's no prison, no trial, no consequences. So my prayer this morning is that what America gave us will not end up as the usual story. We couldn't find it, we couldn't use it. It's not even the equipment that is the issue. Equipment cannot use itself. It is human beings that must use it. And those who are going to use this equipment, are they terrorist sympathizers? Are they people who truly want to rid this country of terrorism and banditry? That's the question. Because you may give us all the equipment to fight terrorism, and we are not willing. What do? The equipment will be there, looking at us, and yet we cannot use it. And when we want to deploy them, are we really patriotic in deploying these things we have gotten from America? Because transparency creates credibility. When you are transparent in fighting insecurity, it will give you credibility. Are we credible? That's the question. You see, Tolu, it's not a question of every deterrence. If every deterrence must be through demonstration of kinetic approach. If we don't have it, goodbye. We can't get it. So thank God for America that Trump has given us what I know this is not the end. We pray that more of this should come, and the government should sit government should do the needful by making sure that these things are used in tandem with the rules of engagement, so that our people in the Northeast or the theaters of oppression should have a relief, instead of allowing these lunatics to be running wild and killing people. Look at what Katsina State is about to do.
Exactly what
releasing
I was
70 people that are to face trial.
In a country where, as much as possible, I mean, we've seen a whole lot that these bandits have done. Should we even be considering at this point? Because I was going to come to that. I just wanted you to finish your submission. Aren't we giving too much chances to these people to feel that they can do whatever it is and get away with it?
That's why I said that we are not getting equipment. Getting equipment is not the first thing. Are we willing to really fight terrorism? When we have a lot of sympathizers as leaders, are we really interested? If we send soldiers to go and fight terrorism, now these people that arrested those 70 as the bandits, people arrested them. People worked day and night to arrest them, and now you're about to release them. What do you think will happen to those people that arrested them? You have demoralized them, and you give such people this equipment America brought. You think they will use it? They will not use it, because they know you are playing games. They can't, because they know that those they arrested without the use of American equipment, you are about to release. Now you are bringing American equipment and you are giving them. They will not use it. That's why I said, are we willing to fight terrorism? Are there vested interests that are making sure that this country will not remain safe? It's not about the Northwest or not. It's about all of us. Because the death of any Nigerian is the death of all of us. It affects us. Because I've seen war. I saw it during this Biafran Civil War. I know what it means for people to die. Somebody around you to cut off his head, and the person to look up to today, at my age, the images have not been erased. That's why I know that God first created computer and put it in a man before we created computer. All the things put in my brain are still there. Anytime I am alone and I read all these things, I remember them vividly as if they happened yesterday. Are we interested in fighting terrorism? Are we really interested? That's a big question. Do we have it has become an industry, because we are treating people who should be put in jail with kid gloves, all because of I don't understand. People imagine what the chief press secretary of Katsina State said. They should be allowed to enter market, buy food, and go. They should be allowed to, bandits should be allowed to interact with their families. They should be allowed to be, what kind of arrant nonsense? In a country, 21st century, and somebody, you see, Tolu, you know the problem we have? The problem we have in Nigeria is that a society where leadership selection process is in favor of the least qualified, that society is going nowhere. Our leadership selection process is very, very faulty. We pick the least qualified people and bring them to the national level, bring them to the state level, and they have nothing to offer. These are the consequences of that we are seeing every day.
Now, still on the issue of insecurity, the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, the story there reads, Governor's budget 525 billion naira for security as killings spread. States across Nigeria earmarked a combined 525.23 billion naira for security votes and related operations between 2023 and 2025, according to an analysis of the figures extracted from the approved budget documents. The state's budgets are contained in Open States, a budget-backed website that serves as a repository of government budget data. The massive vote intended to bolster security nationwide raises critical concerns about the efficacy of these measures as citizens remain increasingly vulnerable to the tide of violence. 525.23 billion naira between 2023 and 2025. Now, in the middle of all of this, there are governors who are proposing to convict bandits. to release bandits who have been convicted, rather. In the middle of this, residents are fleeing Sokoto villages because a particular terrorist, Bello Toji, is issuing new threats to them to leave. How do we continue to spend this much without any results to show for it in the security architecture of Nigeria?
You see, Tolu, there is something I want to let you know. When something becomes an industry, when you turn something into an industry, it is very difficult to stop that industry. Insecurity has already become a very huge industry in our country because of what I said earlier on. No prison, no trial, no consequences. When something becomes an industry, it will attract stakeholders, people who will invest in it because they want to reap out of it. We have gone and check how much Nigeria as a country has spent so much on, in the House, they have committees for defense, committees for insecurity. All those committees, you think they are committing for nothing. Money is going. Now they will ask for more money. Give us more money. You don't solve a problem by throwing money at that problem. When this administration came on board, go and check how much the president gave to the Northeast, about 50 billion. He threw it at them, insecurity, for them to tackle insecurity. Have they been secured? You don't throw money at a problem and think that it will be solved. No. There are some fundamental things you need to do to make sure that the money is utilized for the purpose you gave it out for. That is where we are lacking in our country. Transparency, accountability. You cannot just be throwing money at a problem. Now, if you talk of stakeholders, we have a lot of stakeholders. UAE gave us a name of people who are terrorism sponsors. Our government has not deemed it fit to let Nigerians know who are encouraging this bloodbath. If they are not stakeholders, why are they shielding them? We have heard repeatedly about some security operatives arrested, taking arms to these people. Do you think that there are no moles among them in the rank and file? Do you think they will go and sleep and say, okay, if they sleep, look, Tolu, there are groups of people in this country scattered all over that if Nigeria begins to work well, they will be out of business. These are the stakeholders, and these are the people that will not make insecurity to go away because they don't care about you and I. They know what they are benefiting by the nation being unstable, by the nation not being secured. No matter what government is throwing, the humongous amount of money they are throwing at insecurity, the nation still remain insecure. We have removed subsidy from oil. We have a lot of money. Governors have a lot of money. Where are they going into? Tell me where those things are going into. Governors are budgeting billions for insecurity. And you think, when you see that budget, you think that the highest they will do, go and buy 3 miserable hillocks and give to police and army and say have governors not been receiving security vote? What have they done with security vote of their states? Coupled with the money they are budgeting now for insecurity, what have they done? Because there's no accountability. Any society, Tolu, I keep saying it, where there is no accountability from the leaders to the led, there is no way that country, that society will have benefit of democracy or anything at all. It won't happen because human beings are not wired to behave unless you have the Spirit of God. You can't. So you are a country where they give you money, you put it. Look at what happened in Ibadan here. 30 billion released for Ibadan bomb blast. Nobody heard of it until Fayose came up and started talking. Now we started hearing, this is how much we gave. What is happening in our country? That's the question we ask ourselves on a daily basis. You can't, no matter the amount of money we are budgeting for security, if there is no if there's no willingness to tackle it, we cannot tackle it. We are just multiplying it. Many groups are springing up. And look at our judicial system. How long will it take for you to try people and send them to where they belong? Or massacre, when did it happen? We are still talking of identify them. they are still in the process. It doesn't work that way. But let it be something about election. Speedy trial will come up immediately because somebody must be sworn in. But when it comes to lives of Nigerians, it will delay. Why? Because we are not sincere. Tolu, it is better for a man to be transparent and sincere than to live a lie. Because at the end of the day, you are deceiving yourself, you are deceiving society. We talk of state police. Since how many years ago we've been talking about it? Why has it not been implemented? Do we not know that state police, that security is local? That if we have state police, local government police, and federal police, that it will mitigate these problems we are talking about. Why are we dilly-dallying in implementing state police? Why are we created we had that Danuhu Ribadu gave 70,000 forest guards. Who are they? Who are these people? Who trained them? How many months? How were they trained? What's the rule of engagement? What kind of training did they receive? You understand? Now, if you send them to the forest, because they say they have a pilot state, send them to the forest. Can they not be law for the local government and the states also to recruit their own forest guards within their catchment zone? Because you cannot bring somebody from Kanu and bring him to Ibadan here to come and secure Egono as a forest, or Isenyi as a forest. What does he know about Isenyi forest? He doesn't know anything. Are we sincere? There are a lot of questions, no answers. That is it. It's not about money. You throw money at a problem, has it solved it? No. You must follow through. You must follow up.
All right, you can join the conversation this morning. We're live on Facebook at Wales Radio 893 FM fan page. At Wales Radio 893 FM fan page. We're live on Facebook. Drop your comments right there, and we'll be sure to take your comments this morning. You can drop your WhatsApp messages as well on 0915 4999 893. 0915 4999 893. So drop your messages on WhatsApp as well. Or you can call the phone lines 0916 893 1000, 0916 893 1000, or 0915 333 4893, 0915 333 4893. And you can also call 0911 33 893, 0911 33 893. Those are the phone lines for you to call to be a part of the show this morning.
Christ Ambassadors International College is a private, co-educational Christian day and boarding school located at Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. We offer a blend of Nigerian and British curricula designed to nurture global leaders with godly values. With world-class facilities, exciting co-curricular programs, exceptional pastoral care, and outstanding academic results, we ensure your child's dream becomes a reality. Our entrance examination for 2026-2027 academic session will hold on Saturday, 14th February 2026 at 8 a.m. For inquiries, please call 0704 530 8414 or 0814 177 2806 or visit www.christambassadorscollege.com. Christ Ambassadors International College, nurturing global and godly scholars.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alli Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Ayo on 0706 840-7359. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Welcome back. This is still Perspectives Unlimited right here on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. The phone lines are open 0916 893 1000, 0916 893 1000 or 0915 333 4893, 0915 333 4893. You can also call 0911 3333 893, 0911 3333 893. Drop your WhatsApp messages on 0915 4999 893, 0915 4999 893. Or you can drop your comments on our Facebook page this morning at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. At Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. And we'll be sure to take your comments this morning. Before we move on to, other stories, there's another headline that, I'd like us to pick. Wells Radio marks 2 years with free health services for Ibadan residents. So Wells Radio 89.3 FM is marking its second anniversary with a community-focused health initiative aimed at promoting family well-being and social responsibility as the station celebrates 2 years of purposeful and wholesome broadcasting. Rather than opting for a conventional anniversary celebration, the management of the radio station has chosen to give back to the community through a series of free medical and wellness services for residents of Ibadan, particularly families, the elderly, and other vulnerable groups. And speaking on behalf of the station, the acting general manager, Mr. Ayo Emmanuel Joe, said the anniversary activities were deliberately designed as a service-oriented program in appreciation of listeners who have supported the station since its establishment. And, the anniversary activities tagged Family Health Week, scheduled to begin from today, Wednesday, January 14, and will end on Saturday, January 17th. So today would be the Health Walk, which would begin at Convergences by 9 a.m. And then the walk begins at 10 a.m. We're walking all the way to High Court Ring Road. And on Thursday, residents are expected to benefit from free eye care services, including basic eye screening and consultations that will be provided by Maka Specialist Eye Hospital at Elebu Junction, that's along Akala Expressway. On Friday, we have physiotherapy care and health talk that is specifically targeted at the elderly, which will be facilitated by Premier Physiotherapy here in Oluyole Estate. And on Saturday, we have the grand finale, which would, of course, be the end of the health week with general medical care services that will be offered by Zoe Specialist Hospital, also here in Oluyole Estate. So for those who would love to be a part of this, of course, our doors will be open to you to come and enjoy the free medical services that we have for you in celebration of our second year's anniversary. And of course, to also say thank you for always listening to Wells Radio 89.3 FM. So the walk is today for those of us who are strong enough to be a part of it. So come join us. Like I said, Convergence is by 9 a.m. and the walk begins at 10 a.m. The walking down to High Court Ring Road. And of course, it's going to be an amazing time. We also have a fitness specialist already on ground. And, it's important for us to take good care of our health. And then tomorrow would be the free eye care services for those who would also be interested. You get basic eye screening and consultations as well. And the physiotherapy care for the elderly, for those of us who have elderly people at home who need physiotherapy care. And there's also going to be a health talk for them on Friday and on Saturday with general medical care by Zoe Specialist Hospital. And so you can come around on Saturday as well from 10 a.m. on every of the days. So 10 a.m. today, 10 a.m. on Thursday, 10 a.m. on Friday, 10 a.m. on Saturday. All right. So that's another headline to bring to you. Then let's move on. So let's continue now. The Kebbi State government has announced the reopening of the MAGA school after abduction of 24 schoolgirls. So they announced the reopening of the Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, MAGA, months after 24 schoolgirls were abducted from the school and later rescued. The Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Dr. Alima Bande, disclosed that she disclosed this while briefing journalists after a security meeting with principals and heads of secondary schools in Beni, Kebbi. And she said the decision followed the restoration of confidence among parents, students, and school officials through counseling and full deployment of security personnel in the area. Is the school, ready to? How do we convince parents that it's safe enough for you to take your kids back to this same school after what has happened?
That's a tough one. You understand? That's a very, very big question. And many parents may not initially take their children to the school. And the state governor or state government must be must convince the people that actually we've put enough mechanism in place to check the activities of these lunatics who are moving up and down the state. The governor has to do a lot of convincing, you understand, and people must see what actually has been done. Now, what have they put in place to guarantee the safety of our children, which they didn't do before? That's the question we have to ask. What was lacking? What gave them the impetus to enter into that place and kidnap the children? And what have you put in place to forestall future occurrence? So the issue now is that the parents, if I'm in that state, these are the critical questions I have to I have to ask the state government, and there must be evidence. You know, you must show me that exactly this is what you have done, in order to convince us that yes, our children will now be in safe hands. And also, when it's not enough to put a CCTV. You can put those things, and yet there will be breaches. There are some things you must do, because security, you can't remove the human factor. People, who have you trained? What did you train them? What equipment are they using? Because you cannot bring somebody to secure a place and give him a stick. You'll be holding stick. What is he going to do with the stick? You understand? So you must convince the parents and show them. You can pick a call.
Hello?
Yeah, I just want to say good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
My name is Alli. I'm calling from my work.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Salami.
All right, God bless you, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I think it has warmed me to hear that the U.S. has delivered some military equipment for Nigeria to fight insecurity. Fantastic. But the question and my concern now is, are we truly ready and committed to fighting this insecurity? Because I don't know. So it seems U.S. and Nigeria, I don't think we're on the same page with fighting as regards fighting insecurity. Because if we're on the same page, even while the national government like U.S. is assisting us, our government here in Nigeria, in some states, they are still even paddling and sympathizing with bandits. Can you imagine a governor like which state governor now, Katsina state governor, kind of taunting the idea of freeing, of securing other places for bandits that are already been convicted, despite the humongous staff the security agencies put together in arresting this thing, and even the judges that convicted them, and you are now asking for their release to go back to the society again, forgetting that about 4 or 5 years ago, one of the government said that he had agreements with the security, with bandits in his state, and he even put them on monthly allowances and stipends. The government came out about 3 months later to express its frustration that after 3 months, the bandits went back to the forest. So because they already used to it, it has become an injustice for them. And this is why I'm expecting Mr. President Tinubu to intervene in this matter. He should direct the Attorney General of the Federation to frustrate that move to release those bandits, because they are coming back to the society. It seems that some of our leaders are even having sympathy for these people, which shouldn't be. We need to be serious in this country. May God help us. Good morning. Thank you.
All right, good morning. Thank you, Mr. Salami, for your take on the show this morning.
So we are talking about the school. So you need to, the state has the moral authority to safeguard lives of the citizens. And when that is not happening, it calls for questioning. You understand? So the government must convince the parents, and the parents must not believe in promises. Because if it happens, all they will hear are platitudes, nothing else. Let them see concrete evidence that the place is secured.
All right, let's move back to the Punch newspaper. Federal roads spending soars 489% to 3.23 trillion naira. The federal government has proposed spending 3.23 trillion naira on the construction and rehabilitation of federal roads in the 2026 budget, marking a sharp increase in capital allocation to the transport sector as it intensifies efforts to complete long-delayed highways and repair critical corridors nationwide. The proposed spending represents an increase of about 489% in 2 years compared to 548.56 billion naira allocated to road projects in 2024, highlighting a significant shift in fiscal priority towards road infrastructure. Budgetary documents further show that the Ministry of Works received 1.013 trillion naira for the construction and rehabilitation of 468 federal roads in the 2025 budget, up from 2024 budget. Now, in 2024, it was 548.56 billion naira. 2025 budget, 1.013 trillion naira was released for the rehabilitation and construction of 468 federal roads. Now, the proposed 2026 figure more than triples the 2025 provision, underscoring government's renewed commitment to accelerate the delivery of inherited projects and flagship highway developments nationwide. Now, we went from 548 billion naira in 2024 to over a trillion naira in 2025. And now this is 2026. We're going times 3 of what we had in 2025. And that is 3.23 trillion naira.
You see, Tolu, let us not even look at the figures, but let us look at what will they do with this money.
Rehabilitation and construction.
Can we see it? Can it really be done? If it is done, that's a good one. You understand? I'm not looking at the figures, because if you check some of the reasons why we have road crashes all over the place, it's because of bad roads. You understand? So if the federal government can use this money exactly to do what it has proposed to use it for, I don't think there's anything wrong in it. It's to me, it's kudos, you know. But if it is just on paper that we are reading about these figures and we know that nothing is happening, it still goes down that we are not sincere about what we are telling our people. So the money is there, but let us see what you are doing with the money. We need good roads, because if you don't have good roads, Tolu, the economy will not even prosper. Many things will be hindered. And even this insecurity we are talking about, it has to do with roads also. Because if you go and check some of the places where people have been kidnapped, they mainly happen where there are bad roads. Because that is where they go and stay, knowing full well that vehicles will slow down and these people will be captured. So if we have good roads, if they can spend this money on good roads and give Nigerians at least good roads, it will enhance a lot of development. Many things will be happening, and it will lead to a viable economic activities going on in our country. But if we don't have good roads, number one, it will bring about wear and tear on the vehicles that we are going to use, and the transport owners will put the blame. We will put the whole money they are spending on the travelers, on the commuters. So this thing they all have as a ripple effect. So if they are going to use this money exactly for roads, rehabilitation, and construction, good one, I support it.
All right, 0916-893-1000 or 0915-333-4893 or 0911-3333-893. You can drop your comments on Facebook, and we'll be sure to take your comments this morning on our Facebook page. Now, let's move on to the Vanguard newspaper. Economy. Nigeria to record fastest growth in 2026, and that's according to World Bank. Upgrades growth forecast to 4.4% for 2026-2027. The World Bank announced yesterday that Nigeria's economy is on track to record its fastest growth in more than a decade, upgrading its forecast for the country's economic growth to 4.4% for 2026 and 2027. The World Bank disclosed this in its latest Global Economic Prospects report that was released yesterday. The latest growth forecast represents 0.7 and 0.6 percentage points from 3.7 and 3.8% in June 2026. Should this be something that we should be excited about, or does it seem like the economy is going to experience growth with what is currently happening? But let's pick this call first. Hello.
Hello. Good morning, the beautiful radio woman.
Good morning, sir.
God bless you. Happy New Day.
Same to you.
Now, what you just read now concerning what the World Bank has just said, to me, is a fallacy. It's a fallacy because Nigerians cannot be depending on figures. I can see that at the comfort of my home and give a forecast that the GDP of the country is so. That is at my own peril. I can do that at my own peril. It is what translates to better life for Nigerians that can really tell what the economy is saying. It depends on how much we have in our pockets and how much what we have in our pocket can buy. Do you know, as we speak in Nigeria today, the value of Naira has gone down the drain. What can 5 Naira buy as we speak? What can 10 Naira, 20 Naira buy as we speak? Even 15 Naira. So what are we saying? So I think the World Bank projection to me is a fallacy. It's only Nigerians that know where the economy is biting hard on them. For example, now if you give your wife, like in yesteryears, during the period of Jonathan, if you give your wife, say, 20,000 to go and buy something, the family will eat for a month. With 20,000 naira, the house will be, the store will be full. But give your wife 50K now to go to the, to the market now. It will be as if maybe thief robber on the way, and the collected part of what you ask her to buy. And it's not so. It's because what she bought and the money in her hand cannot really buy so much. So what they are saying to me is the fallacy. And lastly, on the issue of the jets that the US the Nigeria has bought from the US government, to me, sometimes ago we bought Tucano. Mr. Chukwuemeka, please, when last did we heard that Tucano has killed so many bandits? I think the Tucano to me is just there for just for their sake. So the thing is that the one that they bought now, how sure are we that they are going to face those bandits? It's going to increase cost of bandits and it's going to put an end to banditry in the country. If you can have that, then to me it is good. But if you have in the next 3, 4, 5 months, a year, we are still recounting the ordeal of these bandits, then to me the purchase of those equipment is just nonsense. Thank you very much and God bless you guys.
All right, thank you so much for your take this
morning. So Tolu, when you talk of, you see, Brenton Wood's institutions, they speak from both sides of the mouth. Tomorrow they will come and tell you that your economy. Do you know that at a point they wash their hands of Tinubu's economic blueprint? There was a time they came and said that Nigerians are suffering too much. Bring down they speak from both sides of the mouth. So you cannot really rely on the figures they are reeling out. But I'm not an economist, but I know that economic growth must be anchored on productivity. That's the elementary knowledge I have about economy. What are we producing? That's the first question. Now, creation of wealth. Can our dilapidated infrastructure support wealth creation? Before you talk of economy improving, the people must be factored into every economic activity. Look at power outages all over the place. What do you grow economy on generator? Do you grow economy on generator? Do you grow economy in a society where insecurity is the order of the day? So what is World Bank telling us? Are they saying the truth? Of course, as far as I'm concerned, they are not. Because we are inside the country. We know what we are going through. We know that a lot of people who are supposed to be productive are no longer productive because they don't have what it takes to be productive. We know that a lot of people who are supposed to be in their farms are not in the farms because they are afraid of being kidnapped. So which economy is growing? So what are they growing? You see, so what are we producing with what we have? I gave an example yesterday. We started on the same time with South Korea over this steel something, Ajokuta steel industry. South Korea is already exporting steel. Are we producing a needle? Our refineries, are they working? We are still importing fuel in a country that has good oil reserve. So what is the economy? How is it growing? You tell me something is growing, I cannot see the evidence. And I keep saying the most critical infrastructure in any economy to measure the metrics to measure economic growth is the people. Are we better than how we were yesterday? We are not. So what are we saying?
Okay. Quickly on Facebook, Adeomi Kazemadika says, good morning and well done from New Garage. Good morning to you too, sir. Olasukomi Adegoki says, good morning. Good morning to you as well. Adedamola Okunlola says, beautiful morning to you in the studio. We need our president to be proactive when it comes to security. The rate at which Nigerians die because of insecurity is too much. The federal government should approach state and local policing, as this will help curb insecurity. Also, the Amotekons in the southwest should be allowed to work with sophisticated weapons, as this will make their work more effective. Thank you. All right, thank you so much. Adedamola Okunlola. Suleiman Sharif says, good morning and kudos to everyone in the studio. To be honest, some governors don't spend the security votes judiciously to fight insecurity. That is why many state governors set up their own internal security strategies to combat the menace. But so unfortunately, these efforts have not yielded the desired results as criminals continue to operate with impunity, terrorizing the citizens. Those local security outfits like Amotekun Corps can't use sophisticated weapons because federal government did not allow governors to procure modern technology weapons for them. All right, thank you so much, Suleiman Sharif. It's time for us to go.
Thank you very much, Tolu, for having me. God bless Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. To everyone who called in, thank you. And to everyone who sent in messages, thank you as well. As I would always say, the business of the growth of Nigeria is a business of you and I. So whatever it is that you do, wherever you find yourself, always ensure that you put Nigeria out there in good light. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. I am Toluwaleke Alli.
Please listen to this important